How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And I figured I would talk about a thing that happened and why I so much dislike Apex Sports. Some people don't understand, but maybe they're okay with how Apex Sports handled things. So back in 2021, I sold my 2012 Gas EC300 to a buddy of mine that I ride with. And he bought the bike from me. It was unexpected that I would sell it. I wasn't looking to sell it. And I sold it to him. Well, I needed to replace it immediately with a new bike because I do a lot of riding. That's what I do, as you know from my videos. So I decided it was either going to be like an Erzberg edition KTM, which there were none available, or try out a beta. So I figured, okay, 2021 beta 300 RR Racing Edition. I go into Apex Sports. They say, hey, we have some coming in 2 months, or maybe it was 3 months, something like that, 2 or 3 months. And you can have one of those because there's one left unspoken for. I'm like, great, that is awesome. I will take it. So I was like, okay, well, let me get this deal done. I do get the deal done. I call him up. I say, hey, this is me. Do you still have that one available? Randy at Apex Sports goes, yeah, we still got that one available. Great. Let me give you my card number for a deposit. No problem. $250 for a deposit. Okay, cool. Give him the card number, expiration date, 3 numbers on the back. Assumed it was run. Well, like a month goes by. In the meantime, I'm working with companies to get parts for the bike. So I'm getting all these parts gathered up because that's what I do for YouTube. And I have all these parts, thousands of dollars worth of parts lined up. I call Apex and say, this is about a month and a half. Hey, what's the ETA on that bike? When is it going to come in? And I get told, well, you're on a list. What does that mean? What list? What are you talking about? Well, you're on a list. I'm like, no, I gave you a credit card to be put down for the last remaining one. Oh, well, you're on a list. I'm like, why would I give you my credit card to be put on a list? I need to talk to Mike Stokes. Well, Mike Stokes, they get him, he gets on the phone, he's just like, or calls me back maybe, I forget exactly. And he says, well, you know, we don't know why you were told that. I said, well, Randy told me that. Why would I give him my credit card? Well, hey, now, your credit card wasn't run, which means it's not an official deal. Because if you don't run somebody's credit card, you're not in a contract. You know, the sleazy things these places do, but that wasn't the worst part of it. The worst part is yet to come. He says, I'm on the list. I'm like, well, where am I on the list? Well, I don't know. Let me research this more and get back to you. Okay, he hangs up. I immediately call Moto Adventures up in Loveland because I know the owner, Bruce, ridden with him. His sales guy up there is also named Randy. So I talked to Randy at Moto Adventures, and he goes, yeah, we have one coming in like the end of the month, and it's going, or a couple weeks. I forget exactly what it was, but it's going to be this price. We're going to toss in a FMF core, Forest Service approved silencer. We're also going to let you use your credit card because I asked if I could, and that was all part of the deal. I think, you know, this was tough time, COVID time, so I did pay MSRP. Plus, that was the stuff they were willing to do for me because I had been a customer and I know them. So that was nice. And I say, well, you're not going to screw me and sell this bike or print. No, as soon as you give us the credit card to do a deposit, that's locked in for you. Okay, here's my credit card. We want to charge $500. Okay, not a deep problem. Boom, they do that. So I'm locked in over at Moto Adventures in Loveland. That's why I highly recommend them because everything was true. You know, they had gold price. They stuck to it. They stuck to giving me the stuff. They stuck to letting me use my credit card to dump the bike on there. and pay off the credit card at, in my leisure. And I got the points for that too. So kind of a little bonus too. I hang up the phone from Moto Adventures, and maybe 10 minutes later, Mike Stokes called from Apex Sports, and he goes, well, we can. Good news is we can get you a bike, but I'm gonna need $500 to bump somebody off the list. I said, what do you mean bump somebody off the list? He goes, I need $500 to bump somebody off the list. I go, I don't feel comfortable about doing that, Mike, about bumping somebody off that has a bike spoken for them. And he goes, well, that's what it is. Do you want to do this, or are you not interested anymore? I'm like, well, I talked to somebody else and they have a bike. And he goes, oh, well, huh. I go, I can't believe you would do this, Mike, blah, blah, blah. I kind of gave him a little lecture. He didn't care. He did not care one bit. And that was it. So because they wanted me to pay to bump somebody off the list, and yet we had never talked about exact pricing, or if they would let me use my credit card, or if they would even like throw in a FMF Forest Service approved silencer. I don't know. Probably not. They were probably charged me above and this and that. So I got to give hats off to Moto Adventures because they were awesome. I told them what happened. They were like, what the hell? Like, we would never do that. Once we take a deposit, we literally take a deposit. We don't just file it away. The whole idea behind the deposit is you're locked in for that bike. I go, yeah, I get it now. I didn't understand it at the time that that's how dealers, automotive and motorsports, get around by you're not in a contract because they never charged your card. So that's why I don't do business with Apex Sports in Colorado Springs, Colorado, because they're slimy. They're old school. They don't give a shit about their customers. They'll knock you off a list for the right price. That's sad. That is sad. That's why I don't like Apex Sports. I thought I'd better just say that today because I explained to somebody else and he was like, oh, wow. Like no one agrees with that. And if you agree with that, I don't know if I could ride with you, honestly. I don't really know. Oh, but they do so much good. Well, you're just making excuses for them because that is shit behavior and I don't support it and I will never support it. That's not how I treat my customers, and I don't expect it to be treated like that either. So, too bad for Apex Sports. It's my goal to one day sell Beta and put them out of business. It's my goal.